Alright, so this is my other video for the Warn Supreme lockout hubs that I haven't seen on anything on. My other video was for the mile markers. Um, pretty close to being the same thing. You got your housing, the ring clips. You got two of them actually on this one. This is a brass bushing instead of a plastic like the mile marker. There's your inner gear shim. There's the outer gear for the inside. Here's the inner. If you notice, there are two different sizes on this. One's up and one's down. And then your spring. And also note, there's a groove on the inside. This groove goes up, because if it's down when it mates up, see, this is up. When it sets in there, it'll be even on the inside. Your gears will line up. If it's flipped over, when this is actually setting in there, it's going to set like this, and you're only riding on half the gear. So I'll show you that when we put it back together. So let's take one apart. There's a ring, spiral ring clip up here. There's one on the bottom. This is what holds the inner and the outer together. So if I take this one off, then it will only release this outer gear. What I was doing was just taking this one off, and it releases everything. So I'm gonna show you that. So all you need is a pick to do this. You don't need any other tools. So just run it around, because like I say, it's a spiral ring, and that's off. So now it's going to release everything on the inside. There's your brass bushing. Notice the slot, and then there's a groove in there. Alright. So then we got the spring. Here's the shim. And then what I was saying is that ring is still on there. So, but it can be taken off. If you like to take it off, it might be easier, I don't know, when you put it back together. So then the reassembly is the same thing. I've already actually greased these up. I just put the grease on these lugs and spread it around a little bit. Now, I did see in some directions for I can't remember, it was Warn or mile marker, they say a white grease is what they recommend. So basically I just slip this back over there, and you can tell this gear's not on right, because it needs to be pointing up, and this is actually the bottom. So when it goes back together, the groove is going to be up. This groove here will be up. So we're going to put the shim on. We'll set the spring in. We'll put the bushing on after. So this is the part that might be harder for some than others, with keeping all this stuff pressed down. So then we're going to line up the groove with the bushing. Just use the pick to push it down, make sure it's seated. Alright. Then I'm just going to take a fingernail and split that and get my finger in there, and then I'll get it started, and then basically just work its way around. And then that's pretty much all it is. Make sure this is clip. You probably hear it click. You didn't really hear it click, but it did. So that's basically all it is. So basically, you'll know if you've got this gear upside down, because when you push it down and get it to mesh with the inner gear, and get it to turn. I don't know if you can see in there. So the gears are mated flush with each other. If this outer gear is upside down, it's only going to mate with it halfway. So now I'm going to put this other one back together. Now on this one I took both of them off, both rings off. So if it's down, then you'll know if it's right or wrong. So this one I'm gonna install this in here first. So the long part's up. You flip it around. We're gonna put the ring in there, push it down with the pick, make sure it's seated. The ring clip. I'm going to set this on here just to hold it. And split the ring to get it started. Oops. It always seems the first one always goes on easier. Don't know why. It's gonna be a little hard to see, but there, we got it going. If you want, you can take the pick and run the pick around it too. Push it down. That works too. Give it a push and it pops into place. Alright, so now we got that part. Now we're going to put the spring in, and we're going to make sure this groove is up. Line it up with the slots, and just to make sure that you've got that bottom gear in the proper way, you can push it down and you can see the lugs basically are flush with all the gears. Gears line up evenly. Alright, so now we're going to take and get this ring put back on. Guess this could be a reason that I only took the bottom ring off. So then you've only got one to worry about. You stick this in one of these lug slots. And that held it, so that kind of frees up both hands. Work this around. Yeah, to me it seems like this outer bottom ring can be a pain, but there, we got her. Alright, give her a couple of rotations. Push it in. Turn the center, make sure she locks in like it's supposed to. And it does. The ring looks good, and that's how you do your Warn lockout hubs. Pretty simple, pretty basic. So if you get any questions or anything like that, just leave a comment or something. Thanks for watching.